FRACAS is an intercollegiate improv festival hosted by Second Nature Improv over at the University of Southern California. They have workshops, celebrity panels, improv shows, like a big showcase and stuff, and parties.
The first day really kind of being more about workshops and kind of making sure that we all have an ability to learn something new. And then the second day, there is a workshop still, but it's also kind of more showcase based.
Our first day out there, we show up on campus after checking into our hotel and immediately go to like 3 workshops back to back.
The first one we did was the musical workshop. And this again was right out of the car, 2 hours of sleep. And most of us had no idea what to even expect. So that was kind of fun. It felt very loopy, but silly, but really fun.
I was wowed away by every improv team there. And I was just having the best time watching everyone else like rock my socks off. There was a sense of camaraderie. I mean, everyone in the audience was also an improviser. So they were watching us all like try to do it, and we all recognized like, oh, that was a mistake, but we're still gonna cheer anyways because we understand how hard it is, you know? All of FRACAS ended with a performance by the Groundlings Crazy Uncle Joe Show. The Groundlings is like one of the big improv schools out there. The Crazy Uncle Joe Show is the people that have made it to the very tippity top.
I've never even seen the certain type of improv that they've done before.
Insane to see these people take these things that we've been learning throughout the last couple of days, and just seeing them, like how smart they are in their improv, and a great way to close out the educational portion of this festival. We're leaving this show, we're walking to where we're parked, and there's this crossing guard bar that goes across the walkway that we're going across. And the night before we had goofed around and like limboed under it. So we see it again and we're like, oh, let's do that again.
I get down and I make it underneath the parking toll arm, and I do it just fine, and it's on my way back up that I start to stumble as I lose my balance. So of course my arms go out flailing wide. When that happens, in sort of my arm like shooting forward in front of my face to balance myself, I slam it into the side of a parking sign, and like a knife to chicken, my finger just sort of like slices right open, and I hit the ground. I did not realize what was happening at the time.
He's just like laying on his back, and then I look, and his hand is just dripping blood. I go, oh, you're bleeding, which I don't think he had realized yet. And so then he's getting up and he looks, and he goes, all right, everyone, we're going back inside.
Keegan and our friend Dana, who was the one helping him, are in the bathroom at this point, trying to help him out. And you could tell Keegan was the one who grabbed the door to open the bathroom because it's covered in blood. The scene looks like it belongs in a haunted house during October. It's like really gruesome and weird.
At one point, Dana comes out and we're like, how is it? And she goes, Keegan's going to the ER. And we're like, oh, this is like way more serious than any of us had thought. Keegan comes out, and then it kind of just becomes this like chaos.
There's a lot of confusion, but it ended up working out. We got to 2 groups. A couple of us went to the hospital. A couple of us stayed home and just kind of tried to keep a calm presence so that way we wouldn't freak Keegan out.
Meanwhile, Keegan's just got his hand above his head, like, and I think he called it a permanent Breakfast Club pose.
I felt well enough after the whole surgery had happened to still go to the networking party afterwards. And when I showed up there with my horribly bandaged hand in front of the rest of the improvisers who knew me, they all turned and swiveled around and cheered my name, which was one of the best moments of my life. Even just on the drive back, my players were already talking about how much this trip had changed them. Like it had given them new stuff, inspired them to do new things. This is coming from people who've been very comfortable with the stuff we've been doing for 2 years, and already just by going on this trip, they're like, we gotta do more.
If I had to describe FRACAS in 3 words, they would be fun, busy, and tiring.
I would say the 3 words that I would use was definitely first educational, bonding, and then not to be like general, but fun.
To sum up FRACAS in 3 words, I would say eccentric, impactful, and highlight.
Yeah, really just an eventful trip, but I can't wait to go back next year.